Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We will continue chapter 9 differentiation, lecture 5 of 5 part 2. Second derivative of parametric equations. The answer for dy dx are usually in terms of the parameter t. So in order to find the second derivative, that is d squared y dx squared, we will apply the chain rule again. If given x equals to f in terms of t and y is a function in terms of t is a parameter, d squared y dx squared is given as d dx dy dx, means you have to differentiate dy dx from the first derivative with respect to x. You can see here as if d squared y dx squared is d dy means d squared y, dx as if like dx squared. So it is actually equals to, you have to differentiate the first derivative, that is dy dx, with respect to t. Then you have to multiply with dt dx. So you have two things to be considered here. Okay, or we can write in this form. D squared y dx squared is given as, you have to differentiate the first derivative here, dy dx, with respect to t. Then you need to divide with dx dt. Okay, so you have to do two things here. First, you have to differentiate the first derivative with respect to t. Secondly, you need to divide by dx dt. Okay, we will do the example here. Example 5. The terms of parameter t is given by x equals to 2 over 1 minus t squared and y equals to t over 1 minus t. A, show that dy dx equals to 1 over 4 multiplied with 1 minus t. B, find d squared y dx squared. Okay, to get A, you need to differentiate x and y with respect to t. Okay, so if given x equals to 2 over 1 minus t squared, we will differentiate x with respect to t, dx dt, by using quotient rule here. Okay, so by using quotient rule, you have to copy 1 minus t squared, then you have to differentiate 2. The answer is 0. Minus, we copy paste 2, then you need to differentiate v prime. So 2, 1 minus t to the power of 1, differentiate 1 minus t, the answer is negative 1. Close the bracket. Then you have to divide by 1 minus t to the power of 4. Okay, so we have 0 here, so the whole thing will become 0. So you need to multiply. Negative times negative, we have positive. 2 times 2, 4. So the answer is 4. 4 over 1 minus t, we have 1 here, and 1 minus t to the power of 4 as the denominator. Simplify, you will get 1 minus t to the power of 3. Okay, now y is given as t over 1 minus t. dy dt is equals to, we will do quotient rule here. 1 minus t, copy paste, differentiate t, the answer is 1 minus, copy paste t, differentiate 1 minus t, the answer is negative 1 over 1 minus t squared. Simplify, you will get the answer that is 1 minus t plus t over 1 minus t squared. Okay, therefore the answer is negative t plus t is cancel out, so 1 over 1 minus t squared. Therefore, dy dx is equals to dy dt, that is 1 over 1 minus t squared. You have to multiply with dt dx. What is dt dx? dt dx is 1 minus t over 4. Therefore, simplify, you will get 1 over 4. 1 minus t, you can cancel out here. So 1 over 4 over 1 minus t. Y is given as t over 1 minus t. Then we need to differentiate y, that is dy with respect to t, dy dt is equals to, we will do quotient rule here, where u is t and v is equals to 1 minus t. Therefore, u prime equals to 1, v prime equals to negative 1. dy dt is equals to v u prime, so 1 minus t, u prime is 1 minus t multiply with negative 1 over 1 minus t squared. Simplify, you will get 1 minus t plus t over 1 minus t squared. Negative t and t is cancelled out, and the answer is 1 over 1 minus t squared. Therefore, to get dy dx, you have to find out what is dy dt, and then you have to multiply with dt dx. Okay, you have to multiply these two derivative. So dy dt is equals to 1 over 1 minus t squared. dt dx, we have, before we find out what is dx dt, there is 1 minus t to the power of 3 over 4. This is from our previous derivative. Simplify, you will get 1 minus t over 4. Okay, so this is dy dx, and the question asks you to show that dy dx is equals to this one, so we already get the answer. B, find out d squared y dx squared. To get the second derivative, you have to remember the formula, that is d squared y dx squared is actually equals to d dt differentiate dy dx. Then you need to divide by dx dt. Okay, so now firstly here you need to differentiate with respect to t dy dx. Just now you already shown what is the value for dy dt, so you need to differentiate dy dt with respect to t, and you have to differentiate dy dx. So I will substitute the value of dy dx inside, the bracket, there is 1 over 4, 1 minus t. Okay, so differentiate 1 over 4 times 1 minus t with respect to t. The answer is 1 over 4. Then differentiate 1 minus t, the answer is negative 1. So the answer is negative 1 over 4. Okay. Then you have to substitute here. Okay. Negative 1 over 4, you have to divide by dx dt. dx dt, from our previous result, that is 4 over 1 minus t cube. Okay, so simplify, you will get negative 1 over 4 divided by 4, you have to multiply with 1 minus t to the power of 3 over 4. So you will get negative 1 over 16 multiply with 1 minus t to the power of 3. Okay. This is the final answer. Example 6. Find dy dx and d squared y dx squared in terms of t, given that x is equals to 1 over t and y equals to 3t squared plus 2. So given that x is a function in terms of t, that is x equals to 1 over t. Or you can simplify to be x to the power of negative 1. Therefore, differentiate x with respect to t, dx dt is equals to negative 1, we bring in front, multiply with t to the power of negative 1 minus 1, negative 2. Or you can simplify to get negative 1 over t squared. Okay, what about y? Y is equals to 3t squared plus 2. dy dt is equals to 6t. 6 times t. Therefore, dy dx is equals to dy dt. dy dt is negative 6t. You have to multiply with dt dx. If dx dt is negative 1 over t squared, dt dx, you have to bring t squared up and bring negative 1 down. Okay, so simplify, you will get negative 6t cube. Okay, so this is dy dx. Then we will continue to find second derivative of parametric differentiation, that is d squared y dx squared. d squared y dx squared is equals to, the formula is actually given as, you have to differentiate with respect to t, differentiate dy dx. Then you need to multiply with, you can write as multiply also, multiply with dt dx. Okay, from this formula we can see that as if we can cancel out dt with dt. Okay, so you get d squared y dx and dx here, so dx squared, or you can write as d dt dy dx. Instead of multiply, you can divide. You have to divide by dx dt. So up to you. Either you want to use the upper formula or the second one. Okay, both are right. So let's say I want to use the first one. So d squared y 2ex squared is equals to, you have to differentiate with respect to t dy dx. Our previous result is negative 6t cubed. Then you have to multiply with dx, dt dx. dt dx, what is the value for dt dx? Negative t squared. Okay, so dx dt, we just get the answer is negative 1 over t squared. The formula here, you need to multiply with dt dx, so you have to bring t in front, t up, so negative t squared over 1. Simplify, you will get, you have to differentiate first with respect to t. Okay, so differentiate negative 6t cubed, the answer is negative 6 times 3, 18 t to the power of 2. Okay, this is the answer for the derivative of negative 6t cubed with respect to t. Then you multiply with negative t squared. Okay, so finally our answer is negative times negative, positive 18t to the power of 4. Okay, so it's up to you. Either you want to use the formula, this one, or the second one. Okay, both are right. Thank you. We will continue example 7. This is our last example for this lecture. If x equals to t multiply with e to the power of 2t and y is equals to e to the power of 2t. So this is example of exponential functions in terms of t. Therefore, you need to differentiate first. If x equals to t times e to the power of 2t, you have to let t equals to u, e to the power of 2t as v. We will use product rule here. Okay, so if u equals to t, u prime equals to 1. If v equals to e to the power of 2t, v prime equals to 2e 2t. Okay, so now we want to find out what is dy and dx dt. dx dt is equals to u v prime. U you have to multiply with v prime, t multiply with 2e 2t plus e 2t, you have to multiply with 1. So the answer is, you need to factorize e to the power of 2t here. So e to the power of 2t, we will factorize. So the remaining term is 2t plus 1. This is dx dt. Okay. Now we will find out what is dy dt. If y equals to e to the power of 2t, dy dt equals to 2e 2t. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the value of dy dx when t equals to 0? So you need to substitute what is the value of dy dt. dy dt, we just get the answer, that is 2e 2t. Then you have to multiply with dt dx. So what is dt dx? dt dx is 1 over 2t plus 1 multiply with e to the power of 2t. Okay, simplify, you will get e to the power of 2t is cancelled out. The answer is 2 over 2t plus 1. Okay, therefore this is the value of dy dx. Then you need to substitute t equals to 0 here. Okay, so dy dx when t equals to 0 equals to 2 over 2 times 0 plus 1. So the answer is 2 over 0 plus 1, and the answer is 2. Okay, so this is the value of dy dx. When t equals to 0 means you have to substitute t equals to 0 into dy dx. Okay, now I will continue B. Find d squared y dx squared. That is, you have to use dy dx from our previous result. You need to differentiate with respect to t. Then you need to multiply with dt dx. Okay, remember that, as if like we can cancel out dt and dt. So when you see the formula here, is this like d squared y dx dx squared. Okay, so you need to differentiate with respect to t dy dx. So what is the value for dy dx? 2 over 2t plus 1. So you differentiate dy dx here. After you differentiate, you have to multiply with dt dx. So what is dx dt? Dx dt, our previous result, is equals to 2t plus 1 multiplied with e to the power of 2t. So dt dx is equals to 1 over 2t plus 1 multiplied with e to the power of 2, e to the power of 2t. So I will substitute dt dx by 1 over 2t plus 1 multiplied with e to the power of 2t, close the bracket. Okay, don't forget to differentiate first, this one. You need to differentiate. To differentiate this, you can use quotient rule, or you can bring 2t plus 1 up, okay? But I will use quotient rule here. So to differentiate, and we want to use quotient rule, means you have to copy paste 2t plus 1. Differentiate 2, the answer is 0. Minus 2, differentiate 2t plus 1, the answer is 2. Over 2t plus 1 squared. This is the derivative of dy dx. Then you need to multiply with 1 over 2t plus 1 multiply with e to the power of 2t. Okay, so simplify, you will get, because of 0 here, so the answer will become 0. So you will get negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 over, you have 2t plus 1 here, and you have 2t plus 1 squared. So the answer is 2t plus 1 cube. And we have also e to the power of 2t. Okay, remember that the question asks to find d squared y dx squared when t equals to 0. Means you have to substitute the value of t here with 0. Therefore, the answer is negative 4 over 2 times 0 plus 1 cube multiply with e to the power of 0. Okay, so simplify, you will get, the answer is negative 4. because the denominator will become 1 here. So the final answer is negative 4. Okay. So this is the end of the parametric differentiation, second derivative, and this is also the end of lecture, the end of chapter 9. Okay. Thank you.